There's more solar batteries available in Australia now than ever before, but in 2026, these are the only ones that we really recommend. G'day everyone, Dan and Matt here from GI Energy. Today we're talking about the best solar battery in 2026. It's been a crazy year really, hasn't it, for batteries? Ever since the government announced their rebate, there's been an influx of new manufacturers coming to the market, new brands, and an influx of new people installing them, and just some crazy turbulent times. And it reminds me of when solar panels were first becoming very popular. If you go back to sort of 2013 up to 2020, there was that period where there was loads of solar panel manufacturers coming and going and being accredited and discredited. And as we say in a lot of our videos, that list of CEC approved panels went from 83% of them basically disappeared in that period of time when that rush was on. So we're seeing a similar thing with batteries now. The difference with batteries is the technology is more complex, I would say.
Yeah.
Harder to sort of maintain if it's not installed correctly, and probably a lot more expensive to replace as well.
100%, yeah, for sure.
So getting it right is crucial. We do a lot of due diligence when we select a battery to install. We always have had, probably because we've learned from our mistakes in the past, without going into too much detail, but we've had issues in the past with solar panels where we've installed a lot of a type of panel. This is going back to sort of 2011 when we didn't have the experience we had today, and that solar panel brand did leave, and we were left holding the basket and had to go around and replace a lot of systems, which we did with out of our own pocket. So we've got a lot more experience now, and we're very careful with what we install, and hopefully our customers benefit from that experience. So I guess that's a really long-winded way of saying you've got to be careful what you install. Don't just take our word for it either, do your own due diligence, but we've selected the top ones.
Yeah, spot on. I don't really know if you could say too much else. One thing I was going to add is a friend of a friend messaged me the other day with this new brand that I'd never heard of.
Right,
and it was literally insert person's name, ESS, energy storage battery.
Right, so just properly templated.
No idea what it was. I couldn't find anything online, but yet that's approved to be installed.
Yeah.
And sadly at the moment, with some urgency and other things there, people may fall trap of having something like that installed rather than obviously a reliable, long-standing product. So yeah, hopefully this gives you a little bit of guidance of why we've chosen these few brands.
Yeah, great. Well, let's get into number 3 first then, shall we?
3.
Third spot, battery that we've been using for a long time.
Yeah.
BYD.
BYD is great, obviously. Massive car brand that most people know initially.
Yeah.
And yeah, brilliant home energy solution brand as well that, yeah, we've been installing for probably since about 2020, 2021,
Yeah,
I'd say roughly. They had a smaller off-grid model for a little while before that as well. So they've gone through a few iterations of that initial product first before obviously nailing that home solution. So the BYD battery pairs with the Fronius inverter. So I guess also just to note there, you could have gone Fronius battery.
With the reserver.
With the reserver. Both BYD and Fronius of excellent quality. I think the reason the BYD shades it personally is the capacity side.
Yeah.
You can do a larger capacity battery on single and 3-phase, multiple stacks, good backup to the home as well, depending on what your needs are on single and 3-phase. And yeah, just a really well-oiled solution that's been tried and tested. We've got hundreds of those in the field over years where we've obviously now come back to add additional capacity on a lot of sites through this subsidy. So if you're looking, I suppose, there for a tried and tested product from a massive manufacturer that isn't going anywhere, ticks a lot of boxes from that side. And when we're talking about the due diligence, I think that's the first thing we want to really look at, isn't it? So
definitely. I remember going to China many years ago. I don't know exactly when it was, let's say 7 years ago, something like that, maybe a little bit more. And there was BYD vehicles everywhere then. You hadn't heard of them here. Now everyone knows who they are, and you can see the quality in the cars. I think the BYD Ute is the biggest selling Ute now.
Yeah, the Shark, whatever, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Overtook the Ranger, didn't it?
Yeah.
So they are a good, I just see them as, and we'll get into the reasons why they weren't number 2 or 1, but I just see them as a really robust battery.
Yeah.
For someone who wants something tried and tested. It doesn't perhaps have the bells and whistles of some others, which we'll get into. It does need to be paired, obviously, with a Fronius inverter, as you said, so there's potentially there a bit of a disconnect. But the word I keep coming back to with BYD is robust. They're just solid.
Safe.
Yeah. Been around for a really long time.
Yeah.
And if that's what you want from your battery, something really reliable and safe, it's BYD.
Yeah, that's a solid choice, isn't it?
Yeah, so that pushes up to number 2. And this is one that's it's always been on our list of top batteries, not always number 2. And even if you go back probably, I don't know, maybe 6 months, it might have been in a different position. So it changes a bit, but it's always there.
Yeah.
I think most people will have heard of it.
I'd say so.
That's the Tesla Powerwall. Obviously, branding is just off the charts. So everyone knows Tesla. I think Elon Musk probably polarizes people, but the battery itself is number 2 for a reason.
Yeah, I guess just to draw on that initially, we do get some feedback, obviously maybe ethically or however you want to describe it from that side. But if you're talking about a quality product, there's more than 1 million Powerwall batteries installed globally.
Yeah.
Way over that, I would say now. That was a figure somewhere in 2025.
Yeah,
so
right.
In terms of actual units in the field, I don't think anyone else holds a candle to that, really. So again, coming back to that safety side, the integration, automation, a lot of people have Tesla vehicles, Tesla wall chargers, maybe even for a third-party vehicle. So how it integrates into the home ecosystem. The app is awesome.
Yeah.
You got one at home?
I do have one at home. Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? You obviously know what you're doing, I would hope. Maybe.
I hope so.
You'd be the judge. But yeah, it's a great product. I guess the reason it may have been higher or lower, depending on when we've done this assessment, maybe the integration with existing solar. And 3-phase is obviously a limitation there as well if you're looking for whole home backup or again integration with a 3-phase inverter. So there's obviously little tweaks there of how and who it may suit. But if you're talking purely about safety, quality, reliability, it definitely ticks those boxes. It may just be the system design and of how that works for an individual circumstance, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think for me that's a big reason why it doesn't get into the number 1 position here, is because the 3-phase backup.
Yeah.
So just to explain that to people who are unaware, if you have a 3-phase home, you can use a Powerwall.
Yeah.
You just can't. You can back up, but you can't recharge the battery when the sun comes out the next day.
Yeah.
And that is a hindrance. I put one in knowing that, and there was enough benefits outside of that at the time of me installing it.
Yeah.
But if I was to install tomorrow, I probably wouldn't do it because of that, having a 3-phase home.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty good at everything else.
Yes.
It probably just lacks that little bit of innovation, which is a crazy thing to say about a product from Tesla.
Yeah, true.
But the Powerwall 3 obviously came out and innovated, and at the time it was, it was the best battery probably in terms of innovation. Bit of time's passed now, and some other products which we'll talk about have come in and probably innovated a bit more, and they just haven't yet.
Yeah.
I think Elon's being a bit lazy there. He probably doesn't have much to do, does he? Surely he can design a new Powerwall for us.
Exactly right. But yeah, over time, I think it's just, as you said, others have caught up, maybe taken it to another level for home storage.
Yeah.
And that's probably where they've just missed that point there, I would say. But yeah, in terms of, as we mentioned before, a lot of other points there are really strong. So
yeah,
definitely a solid option.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, number 1, we're going to get slammed a bit here, I think, aren't we? Because we couldn't. We had a lengthy discussion about this in the office, and we were unable to decide on a solid number 1. So we've chosen to fence it just a little bit, and it's a draw, and we'll explain why. But the top 2 are Sigenergy and Sungrow.
Yes.
So Sungrow's always been there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Sigenergy we had at number 1, I think is fair to say, for a while.
Yeah.
There's been some changes at Sungrow and some changes at Sig in a way, and that's sort of rebalanced it a little bit for us.
Yeah.
One of the maybe less significant ones that I'll talk about quickly and then pass on to you is Sungrow have brought out some new products, which for those of you who don't know, I'm involved with commercial solar a little bit more. They've got some larger batteries now that are really good for that sort of middle of the ground commercial in terms of the size. So 50 kilowatt hour modules basically that you can build up to quite a good sized battery in a really cost effective way. You can pair that then with their 110 kilowatt hybrid inverter, which gives you a fantastic charge and discharge capacity. That's one of the reasons I think overall as a battery suite, Sungrow have probably lifted their game a little bit and notched it up a little bit for me. And you had some other reasons as well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to split them, and both are excellent options.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to have either battery in my home.
Yeah.
And I guess that is a bit sitting on the fence in that way, but it's probably, again, then comes down to the specific scenario of where one or the other may suit the end user better. So the larger 3-phase sites both can do full home backup, so you can't really split them too much on that side.
Yep.
Single phase also can deliver full backup. I guess a lot of the conversations we have will sort of split into one of two camps. It'll either be they love the tech, innovation, V2X, so vehicle to grid, vehicle to home side of the SIG, or they love just the fact that Sungrow have been around as long as they have. So 1997, inverters that have been out for over 15 years, batteries for many, many years as well, and they've obviously gone through a couple of models. So they like that peace of mind. They like to know that that's support there, and the support with Sungrow is unquestionably the best in the industry. I don't think anyone that does this would argue against that. Sigenergy are improving massively as well, and obviously 2025 was such a chaotic year. There was just no way anyone could have been ready for what happened last year. So they've definitely put a lot of things in place, which is obviously really exciting from that side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess again, going back to that sitting on the fence, it really just comes down to the scenario. Sungrow also have a trade-in program for any site with an existing Sungrow inverter where you're replacing it with a hybrid and their battery. So quite often that may suit. It may also suit the initial design of how those panels were wired, because it can just be a like for like swap, whereas maybe with the SIG there's some other work there.
Yep.
So it is site specific, and it's hard to split it because they're both excellent, they're both safe, they're both modular designs.
Yep.
A couple of the ones I've been running into lately is maybe on larger 3-phase sites for very large capacity batteries or future expansion, because the Sungrow is a modular design and each stack can just run off a single inverter. With the SIG, each stack has to have the inverter. So maybe you run into a capacity limitation with the network provider.
So your inverter can't be bigger than...
Yeah, so if it's 30 kilowatts on a 3-phase site, which is obviously pretty common in a lot of areas, you could use the Sigenergy 30 kilowatt inverter with a full stack, but then you can't do another stack.
You need two 15s to stay under the limit.
Yep. Yeah. Whereas with the Sungrow, you could start with a 15 or a 20 kilowatt inverter, 40 kilowatt hours of storage. I want another 40, another 40, another 40, same inverter.
Yeah.
So again, I guess it comes back to that design, and that's why we want to get an idea of each individual circumstance, because every house is different. So long-winded answer, I suppose. I'm trying to split the two in any way, but they're really what the main two that we're talking about in the office as the most suitable options for most scenarios. And then just, I guess, drawing back into what of those features really fits the brief better.
Yeah, I think we sort of made our peace with being fence sitters there, didn't we? Because what we talk about a lot is it's horses for courses.
Yeah, correct.
People that are doing just that templated design, that's not the correct way to do it. You should be able to come to someone who designs a system for you. And often we've been able to say, there's a reason why this one is clearly the best. But right now, if we're just being completely honest, it has come down to the wire, and it is what's best for you. Yeah. So as you said, Sungrow probably, going back to that word robust, they probably tick that box a little bit more. They've obviously got their new products. They now have the integrated EV charger as well. Nice. So that brings that into the ecosystem. It's not the DC charger. So Sigenergy have more innovative tech. Their safety system's a little bit improved compared to Sungrow's. They have the DC charger, which means you can charge your car a lot quicker. You can also do bi-directional charging if V to G and V to home becomes more popular. And there's some other bits there that probably make them a little bit more innovative. But I speak to customers that just are a little uncomfortable with them being a newer company, and that's where Sungrow just is the right choice.
Yeah.
I think it is also worth mentioning that there was a recall with Sigenergy, and there was a bit of consumer confidence lost there. They had to recall a lot of their single-phase inverters, so there was a voluntary recall. We're in the midst of that being handled, so we can't really say how well they've handled it because there's no underline on that topic yet. But to date, they've put their hand up and agreed to replace every single one. They're not being forced to do that. That's voluntary. I think they've handled it pretty well so far. but that has to be factored in to the overall conversation with the customer, which again has just brought Sungrow level in terms of what we're offering.
Yeah, I think that's pretty spot on. As you said, they put their hand up, they're doing something about it. It's obviously a very tedious, time-consuming process when the industry's the busiest it's ever been.
Yeah.
And to occur in the lead up to the end of the year or Christmas, which is already a very busy time.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't ideal from that side.
Yeah, for sure.
And a lot of people that call up that are doing their research as they should be. That information is obviously readily available online. Probably blown out of proportion in some cases, but again, still needs to be referenced because it's something that they've acknowledged and they're sorting out. So as you said, I think you've got to say fair play if that's what happens and that smooths out over time.
Yeah.
And if it does, then you sort of maybe bring that back up to say, okay, the support and everything in place there is industry leading, because if it's done in the way they're planning to do it, you've got to tip your hat and say that's a lot of work that's been achieved really at a very busy time. So
no, 100%, and this is probably something which is why they change. New technology comes and goes, and Sigenergy and Sungrow may be further or higher up that list depending on which way you look at it by next time we do one of these videos in a year's time.
We'll have another one, we'll have 3 at the top. Just to keep it even more fence sitting.
I mean, it does. Whenever we're doing these and we talk about it beforehand, the biggest thing we want to get across is just trying to be as unbiased as possible, because that's where you can be helpful. Yeah. And with that comes that honesty that we can't split them, and I think we will get grilled for it a little bit by people, but that's just if we said it any differently, we wouldn't be adhering to that honesty that we try and keep up with. So. But again, it comes down to if you're looking at a solar and battery system, the most important thing to look at is the company installing it. The products are obviously important. Pretty much anyone can supply the same product if they choose to. So what's more important is looking into the company, finding someone that you're comfortable with, that you can trust, doing your due diligence to make sure they've been around for a while, making sure they're designing a system for you and not giving you a templated cookie cutter design to make it easy or more profitable for them. And then once you've found someone that you can trust and you've done your due diligence on the company, then speak to them about the product. Yeah. But these are the ones that we would install this year.
Yep, exactly right.
Thanks for watching. If we've missed anything, if you've got any questions, please get in touch or hit us up in the comments. And thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.